Hey guys, Character here with another video. This time this is not a review, not an announcement. This is one of those extra videos. This is basically a demo update video because certain things have gone on since I've last showed my demo toys, and for this involves these three that you see here: the Demo Belt, Den Gasher, and Den Common Sword. First we have the Demo Belt. What you'll notice is that the modification I'd had is now gone. That's because I removed it because I got the deluxe Henshin belt extender, and while it's still a little bit tight on me on like the largest setting, it at least will fit me with the belt extender. And additionally, some months back I got as a gift at a party some paint markers. One was gold, one was silver. And what I did with that is I used the silver paint marker to paint back all the markings that had been scratched off over time from the terminal buckle right here. As you can see, it's got designs all along here at the top and the bottom. And while I could have used that to also repaint the chrome outer ring in silver, I opted not to, because that wasn't totally necessary, and the electronics still work. As you can see, the light does not overshadow the silver paint. Let me just do that again. So yeah, you still have that. There has been a little bit of scratching on some of the buttons, but I don't really have the colors to paint over those. There's that. Second, for the Den Gasher. Now, as a lot of Demo fans and Kamen Rider fans in general likely know, Kamen Rider the movie Showdown Trilogy has been out and about and around the net for a while now. And with episode Yellow, Treasure to End Pirates, they introduced a new rider, Kamen Rider G-Den-O, and like all Demo Riders, they have at least one weapon. And for Gino, he had a Den Gasher with a couple of new modes. Well, one's a new mode and one's kind of new. And both of those modes are possible to make with the regular Den Gasher. The first is the Den Gasher Jite mode. So you take piece 4. Then you attach piece 3. Extend out the Aura Axe. Take piece 2, attach it like that, then finish off by taking piece 1 and attaching to the top, and like that you have Jite mode, which is essentially rod mode with the axe part extended. Though it didn't extend out in the movie, so this is actually fairly close to what the Jite mode is actually like. And secondly is the gun mode, which is also extremely simple. Just take the pieces like this, switch to the gun mode configuration, but leave out the axe blade, and you have G-Den-O's Den Gasher gun mode. It's actually pretty simple. And that's basically it. It really is another example of them just taking, the toy, seeing what you can do with the toy, and then putting it into their own media. And third is the Denkan sword. Now, what some of you guys might remember is that when I made my Denkan sword review, my one major problem was that there were several parts of it that were unpainted that should have been, and so it wasn't completely screen accurate. Well, what I did is, after having discovered paint markers, I took it upon myself to gather up a bunch of the right colors and essentially paint the Denkan sword in all the places that were missing paint. So what you get here is these rings on the side, one on the front and one on the bottom, are painted. For the delta lever, we have painting on these marks and these parts on the side, as well as painting up the back of these parts of the handle. On the back, these arrow parts are painted in blue, have silver painted into the markings on the grip, and red paint on the inside of the pulling mechanism. Now, I didn't quite manage to get every part that was wrongly colored. For example, for this part here, most of it's supposed to be in black with this little bar being red, but I didn't really want to take my chances with it because there was a chance that the black paint might get onto this gold paint of the blade, and this is actually, this is all red plastic. And this is actually just part of the molding. It isn't a big deal. And the second thing that I didn't paint was on this inside pattern. Inside pattern, it's supposed to be a light green color, but with it being such a small space, and also part of the design being under this part here, it seemed a little bit hard to get. I might do that in the future, but that's kind of a part that I'm kind of thinking about leaving as is. Now, the painting was a little bit slipshod, as you can see here, but in general, I'm satisfied with what I've done with this. And you can see little bits kind of eked into this part, and it's actually, well, the painting is actually a little bit rougher than it looks. But if you look at it from the front, you really don't see too much of the minor flaws. Or look at the back. I mean, for this, you really gotta kind of look closely at to really see the slight flaws in how I painted it. But this is something I don't think anybody else has ever done, because, well, I'm one of the few people who has ever reviewed the Denkamen sword. And also one of the few and one of the even fewer who have actually given it a, well, talking review instead of, the just sound demonstration. And it really does help to bring out those details by giving them the paint that they should have had in the first place. I mean, like I said, it's not perfect, but in general it works. And, especially if you look at it from you see the silver ring there. And you see it, beneath the red parts, and it does stand out a little bit more. Another good thing is that adding the paint also took out none of the functionality. So it works just fine, even with all the paint I've put on it, because none seeped into it, because I didn't have to paint it anywhere that would make that happen, which is a good thing. And that's basically it for now. I could try to rework the lines on the side and add in the green paint here. And if I do any of that, well, the silver part isn't really worth another update, but if I put the green paint into this pattern, I will do another update for you guys. So anyway, just moving this stuff into a good position. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my blog at krx50.blogspot.com. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.